Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 16th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. This is from yesterday morning. State of California is here, and you can see the thunderstorms that were off to the south and west here in the upper level low, spinning off the coastline in perfect position to bring some active weather into Southern California yesterday, and oh boy, did it ever. You can see that the lightning activity moving up across some of the coastal regions here first in San Diego as we went through the morning, moved across some of the Los Angeles metro. Then we had more multiple rounds of thunderstorm activity moving across some of the Los Angeles metro, out over some of the mountains. Palm Springs really got a nice couple rounds of thunderstorms, some heavy rain out there as well. And you can see how the upper level low didn't move too much. And that's going to be out here for the next couple of days before it starts to kick through this weekend and bringing maybe some widespread rain even across Northern California, some mountain snow, and additional thunderstorm chances each day. We're going to dive into those details as we go. As I continue to go on towards this morning, you can see that lightning off the coastline here. Some of this is going to try to make its way into the Bay Area, some of the valley areas here, Central California. Probably giving a break here for Southern California as we go through the day today. And taking a look at the channel, you guys are, you're got this channel up over 12,000 subscribers, doing quite well. Thanks for everybody who's been subscribing recently and checking back with the videos daily, and all my new members that have clicked that join button down below. Much appreciated. Now, taking a look at some of the rainfall amounts. Check it out. Crystal Lake, 1.89 inches, some big rainfall amounts. So get Mount Baldy up over an inch there as well. Yeah, and some even the metro area's got some pretty good amounts also. Yeah, so pretty crazy weather rolling through a lot of Southern California yesterday. Now, taking a look here at a wider view of things, you can see some areas up over an inch. I think this is Carlsbad, 1.1 inches there. You got up over a third of an inch for some of the Los Angeles metro, even locally some higher amounts as well. And you can see lesser amounts the further you went north, but that's going to change over the next couple of days. There's a few rounds of thunderstorms coming for some of Central California, potentially even Northern California as well. And there were some thunderstorms over the Sierra Nevada yesterday also. Now, taking a look at the National Weather Service Bay Area, a few thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. You can see it does include the Bay Area, San Francisco, on into the I-5 corridor there, including possibly Sacramento over the next few days on in through Thursday. This is the rain forecast. Check it out. And some of the models are actually showing higher amounts up towards Redding, Northern California, especially European on its latest run as well. You can see Sacramento up towards an inch. You can see the Bay Area and the Sierra Nevada getting some nice rainfall totals as well. And it's going to be snow above generally 7,500 feet. And then probably dropping down towards 6,500 feet on Saturday night as the low pivots across the area. Looking at the NAM 3K, I'm hot off the presses here. 12Z run, put this into motion, and we get a little break from the wind here, except maybe along the immediate coast. You can see some gusty winds though as we go through tonight across some of the valley areas, but then you can see this next round kind of pick up across some of the Southern California higher terrain, some of the coastal ranges here as well. Some gusty winds all the way in through some of the valley areas. Also, see that low pressure start to kick through as we go through Saturday morning with additional rounds of thunderstorms, gusty winds, some snow for the higher terrain. And of course, those gusty winds will be across some of the Sierra Nevada as well. Now, looking at the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh, this goes out 48 hours. It's doing a pretty good job yesterday, but some of the models overall were really underplaying the amount of lightning that moved across the area here. So let's look at what the HRRR has to say as we go through the next couple of days. As we go through today, you can see that thunderstorm activity trying to move into some of the Bay Area here. You can see some of those heavier showers, maybe in some of the valley areas there, right off the coastline here by tonight. Then you can see this next band as we go on in through Friday and eventually Friday afternoon. Look at some of this widespread precipitation, embedded thunderstorms potentially driving back down across some of the central coastline all the way down towards Southern California as we go on into Saturday morning as well. So you can kind of see the spin in the atmosphere right off of the Bay Area by Saturday morning as this low pressure system is moving inland. This is the lightning flash density potential, and you'll also see that lightning potential here as we go through the next couple of days. You can see multiple rounds of thunderstorms are possible, kind of peaking there sometime on Friday afternoon, Friday night, and then again going all the way down through Southern California by Saturday morning. And again, Saturday afternoon, there's going to be a thunderstorm threat as well. This is looking at surface-based capes, so kind of just showing the instability in the atmosphere. And you can see how it hangs along the coastline here, but does move inland as we go through the afternoon today and in through Friday. You'll see that again bubble up across much of California here as well. And you can clearly see the low pressure spinning there and spreading some of those thunderstorms towards the coastline. Would not be surprised to even see a funnel cloud, some of the coastal areas here as we go through Saturday morning also. You can't rule that out. There was actually a funnel cloud reported yesterday, but I don't know if that was the case. Maybe a high base cold core funnel, who knows? But I think the bases were kind of high for that yesterday, but there could be that chance as we go through the next few days. You can kind of see that in the significant tornado parameter You'll see some of us approach the coastline here as we go on in through Friday afternoon. So I wouldn't completely rule out maybe a water spout or a funnel cloud there across some of the coastal areas. You can kind of see that propagate down towards Southern California as we go into Saturday morning. Now, taking a look at the weather station I've been promoting here, this thing picks up lightning quite nicely. It's got a nice smartphone app. It'll tell you how close the lightning strikes are and how many of them occurred. Interesting weather station here. It's very accurate. I highly recommend it. Click on that link down below to save 10% off. And taking a look at the Tempest weather map, I click on one just near Palm Springs. You can see the thunderstorms kind of moved away yesterday. The lightning detection system was going on, and you can see it's been 13 hours since they've had a lightning strike out there. But a lot of these stations were lighting up yesterday as those thunderstorms moved across the region. You can kind of see where everybody has these stations. You can click on each individual location and kind of see all the data that each station has recorded. Now, looking at the European, it did a pretty good job with showing the lightning threat, but it was underdoing things across Southern California yesterday. And this is what it shows for this afternoon here across some of the Central Valley, some of the coastal areas here, even the Bay Area. And as we go on in through Thursday night into Friday morning, another round of thunderstorms for the coastal areas, but don't rule it out. Inland here a little bit further also, including the Sierra Nevada, as we saw yesterday. If you guys, there was a few thunderstorms across the Sierra Nevada. I'm sure somebody heard that lightning and thunder out there, along with all the craziness across Southern California. But you can see that start to move down towards Southern California as we go through Saturday also. And Saturday afternoon, probably one more round of thunderstorm potential here as that low finally kicks off to the east on Sunday. Maybe a straight thunderstorm for Nevada or Utah at that point. Now looking at the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh, this is a 12Z run. This is total precipitation in inches. And again, as we go through the next couple of days, as I talked about yesterday, there's going to be big variation in individual amounts for certain locations. You can see some really heavy rainfall setting up for certain areas and not as much for others. And you can kind of see at the end of that run, see some of these thunderstorms making their way back down towards Southern California here as we go through Saturday morning. So yeah, interesting weather still to come as we go through today, tomorrow, and Thursday. This is the European. This is all the way out towards this 90-hour period where it ends, and you can see it's got some pretty good amounts across Northern California as well, even out towards the coastline. Been trending a little bit upwards here as far as precipitation amounts, and some of the Sierra Nevada northern portions here and some of the coastal ranges showing up 2+ inches coming up over the next few days here, and some are going to be locally higher and some areas will be locally lower depending on where that thunderstorm activity sets up. Now, we looked at this the last couple of days. This is 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. Got the state of California here. There's the Hawaiian Islands. That low pressure system as a result of this cold air just dropping down off the coastline here and is cut off from the main westerlies. But you can see this next lobe come across and kind of grab it and give it a push, kick it across the state of California as we go through the day Saturday, and then eventually off to the east here. And then we'll start to take a more deeper look at the extended forecast through the extended range here. Some models showing some activity coming in again later on in through November. This is day one thunderstorm outlook. Notice it does include portions of Arizona here and some of the central coast up towards the Bay Area. It does include the inland areas here as well and some of the Sierra Nevada out towards Lake Tahoe. Can't rule out a thunderstorm there. Day two, again, mainly coastal areas, but I wouldn't rule out a thunderstorm a bit further inland and across the Sierra Nevada. And day three, one more round. This would be Saturday morning through Sunday morning and potentially down towards Southern California also. If we look at Mammoth here on the GFS, you can see as this low kicks through, some decent amounts of snowfall here. Nothing too crazy, but you get 6-7 inches there at the airport and potentially higher amounts across the higher terrain. And you can kind of see how models are showing a period of active weather here towards the end of the month there. We'll be kind of watching that as we go through the next few days. Plenty of time to look at that. This is total snow couture ratio on the NAM 3KM. This is hot off the presses this morning. And as I go back here, you can kind of see this is occurring this morning, some snowfall for the higher terrain. But then we get a little bit of a break here. And then as the low starts to kick through as we go through Friday night into Saturday morning, you can see some bigger amounts, especially across the higher terrain. I don't know that anybody's going to see 40 inches of snowfall like what the NAM's saying here, but you could get a couple feet in some local areas here, especially across the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada here. So heads up if you're off in the backcountry there. Now, before we wrap things up here, here's the GFS. Currently, this is hot off the press of the 12Z run. You can see our storm off the coastline here. It's going to be spinning for the next few days. And as I go into motion here, as we go on into Friday and Saturday, you can see it finally get picked up and kick on through the region here. Then we get a bit of a break here. Some ridging building across the west coast of North America there. And as we scroll on a little bit further into the future, you can see maybe some kind of an inside slider type system or some troughing redeveloping here. But we have plenty of time to watch that as we go. I've been trying to concentrate concentrate so much on this storm over the last few days, losing sight of going over the extended forecast, but you can kind of see the storm train maybe returning to the west coast here as we go through the end of November. This is, of course, subject to change. You're looking at over 10 days out at that point. And taking a look at the drought monitor here, you just want to look back on this for reference here, because it's pretty rare that you have the entire state of California drought-free, just a few abnormally dry areas out there. No big deal right now. And if we click back on the current map there as well, you can see Arizona down here has been dealing with some extreme drought. In New Mexico, some areas are even worse, and some exceptional drought out there. So hopefully we can get them some precipitation as we go through the winter months upcoming here. But yeah, just like to see that California there with no drought at all. But yeah, heads up, you guys, we got today, tomorrow, and Saturday thunderstorm potential across the state of California. We'll continue to break this down as we go day by day. And, you know, Northern California trending higher with some of those precipitation amounts as this low kicks through on the day of Saturday. So heads up for that as well. And we'll revisit that tomorrow morning as always. So anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like, subscribe. If you want to help the channel out monetarily, click on that join button down below. But anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you then.